Hi guys, I'm Anna from Active Krav Maga. Today I wanted to talk you through the process that we are using to get people ready for the grading. So it's very good to build your confidence, and obviously you guys have different structure of the grading, especially if you're from different organizations, depends on a different examiner and so on the country. So there's a lot of varieties, but this is a good concept just to build your confidence. So have a look, maybe use it or maybe adapt it for your level, for whatever you need. So have a look. So what we're doing is we're starting from the top, which is the success, whatever success means to you. Whether you're grading for P1, G1 or whatever level you guys have, you just put the top in there and imagine how you feel when you achieved it. So you feel like you smashed it, you feel really proud, probably you post it on Facebook straight away before you even have a shower. So imagine this top and it's like, that's where I'm going. Why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve? How do I want to feel? Okay, super badass, all flowy and so on. Feel that I've raised my standard. So now, go back 10 minutes from that moment of this super happiness and feeling proud and think what happened 10 minutes earlier. So in Krav Maga Global, we have fitness tests. We have a combat fitness test, which is basically giving you a benchmark that you have to achieve fitness-wise, which is like sprawls and punches and stuff. So if you're in KMG, obviously you know what it is and how it feels. Pretty brutal. So what can you do in order to prepare yourself for this fitness test? Here you could list the actions that will help you to get ready and smash this test. Now I'll help you out. So for example, make sure that you get up all the way so you can actually extend, like you can breathe properly, your diaphragm can work, you can get some air, because it's not a sprint, it's actually a marathon, it's a Krav marathon, let's call it, because after like 3, 4, 5 hours of grading, when you do a fitness test, it's brutal. And you have to remember you finish it within 10 minutes for P level. So first do it well, make sure you use your glutes and your hamstring. That means come up all the way, press from the heels. Obviously that's another technical stuff, but make sure your instructor corrects you on the technique, otherwise you will end up just landing on your on the balls of your feet and just abusing your quads. It'll be burning like crazy and it will be difficult to finish the test with just using your quads pretty much. So fitness test is train it, maybe do 1 minute a day, but we will go through that as well, preparation for it. Now 30 minutes before, a bit earlier. Okay, what happens in our Krav global grading? Most of the time there's multiple attacker drill. So 2 against 1 and extra, for example, armed attacker with a stick or with a gun, with a knife, whatever else. Depends on your level again. I'm kind of more going for the lower level, so P1, P2. So what can you do to get ready? Imagine doing that. Imagine those 3 guys against you, lining them up, making sure no one goes behind your back. Make sure you have space, making sure you're in control of what you're doing. So obviously that's what you should do when you're prepping with your instructor at the class, but be aware of what is required to actually smash this element. Okay? What are the principles of fighting multiple attackers? Cool. Next one, sparring. How can you get ready? How can you improve on sparring? First, keep your guard up. That helps. Okay, it's practice. Maybe you talk to one of the more experienced students or instructors, maybe get some tips and so on, maybe just practice, do it in front of the mirror. It's loads of things. Obviously YouTube has so many resources, guys. I mean, now there is no excuse not to be ready. Ground fight, now that's a tough one because it's quite difficult to dry drill it. You need someone there. So yeah, get a partner, try to practice some of the stuff. Maybe get a bit of BJJ training extra just to top up some of your training. Techniques, so self-defense techniques from Krav. Normally I'm going backwards, right? So that at the end we're finishing with ground, we're finishing with some headlocks, chokes, that kind of stuff. Then we're going into armed attacker. Well, obviously the get-ups and soft break falls and your favorite rolls. Armed attacker, so all the threats, all the attacks and so on. And we're starting at unarmed attacker. So defenses against, for example, slaps and straight punches, all the attacks without any weapon. Then the start of it, because we're going backwards, are fundamentals. So combatives, your kicks, your punches, your attacks, your strikes and so on. Footwork, your balance, how you transition the body weight and so on, and the stances. So if we're looking at P1 level, I mean that is the core. Everything else, if you don't have this bit, fundamentals, everything else goes to shit pretty much. So on the higher levels, you're still being judged on this. You still need to be able to deliver a proper strike, know how to generate the power through rotation, through body weight forwards and so on. So I'm really, really trying to put the emphasis for my students to be good at this, because if you don't know one technique like defense, but you can do proper counters and you can actually be powerful, this is most important. Because on the street, you need to be able to defend yourself. You need to be able to change your mindset into aggressive. You need to be able to stop attacker from attacking you, okay? So attack is the best defense, right? Focus on that bit. But this is it. That's your test. That's pretty much what test. Obviously, some grades are taking 5 hours to do. Some are actually days. If you look at the camps in Israel and so on, it takes forever, or instructor training, like 23 days. You're pretty much all the time being judged, but you get used to it. You're still trying to do the best you can every minute of the time. And that is the best tactic for it. It's about becoming better and better every minute, as opposed to just preparing for the grading. Okay, so now we've done the grading itself. So what happens before the grading? The morning before, very important, everyone forgets, is to rehydrate. Water is basically what your body is made of, right? The percentage of water is insane. You need water to operate, your body needs it, your muscles need it, and your brain needs it. And this is the stuff that you use when you're actually crabbing. So rehydrate properly, and it's not about like stuffing your face with water. It's about adding some salts and making sure that you add the water content while you're training, especially. Okay, so while you're all nice hydrated, the night before, we're going down, right, from our mountain. The night before is the mental preparation. It's getting clarity. It's sorting out the shit in your head. Because what happens, and I see it over and over again, very good fighters, very good Krav practitioners are going to the grading and they fall apart. Because of uncertainty, because not feeling confident, because they don't have clarity inside. So to mental prep, what you need to do is dry drill this process. Go through this and know that you're pretty confident with all those elements. Can you do something else to prep? Great, then do it. But if you know that you've put in effort, you will have confidence, because effort builds confidence, not the actual skills. You've seen people with zero skill, but so confident is crazy, right? So it's not about fake confidence, it's about effort put in to preparation. Next one is to dry drill those techniques. So for example, if I'm going to my technical elements, ground, yeah, it's hard to dry drill, but it's doable. Arm techniques, for example, the knife thread. Okay, cool, what should I do? I slap and kick, whatever it is. If you dry drill it, your nervous system gets used to it, and you kind of like get the clarity what is required. And also, make sure that you know what each commands mean. So if you read the syllabus, the instructor needs to be able to communicate with you. So he's not going to show you like, okay, do this, and then you copy it. That's what instructors are doing. The examiner will tell you, show me the straight punch. So you need to know exactly what everything means. So for example, he says, show me inside the fence, 1.5. You need to know what it means. So get the clarity, go through your syllabus, your requirements, and make sure you're clear about what each technique means. Pack your shit. I've seen so many people, again, over and over, in years of grading, I've seen people not even bringing their boxes. If you don't get a box and you're so focused on not getting hurt and people not punching you and kicking and so on, you actually can't perform properly and can't do your best. And this is the point. You need to set yourself for success. So, pack your box, pack your mouth guard, pack your gloves, get more equipment than you need. It's better to have more and even be able to lend some, not mouth guards, than the other way around, okay? To need something and not have it. Okay, so now we're stage 3. We're doing well, right? 3 days before is your last training. So last training session, you have to understand that you can't build endurance in 3 days or 2 weeks. It's not happening. So in the next 2 weeks before the grading, don't do any super heavy smashing, suddenly sparring and everything else. You can't catch up. Okay? So 3 days before, you're going to do light training, but technical. So go through as many techniques that you need for the grading as possible to kind of clarify everything, have the muscle memory, wake up the nervous system, and be really happy and really confident with it. Okay, so now we're going 2 weeks away. So if we're going for Krav Maga global grading, I would really suggest 2 weeks before do your last combat fitness test. Smash it completely, know what kind of time you can get, and then that will be your benchmark to hopefully smash it on the grading. Most people actually, even though you're tired of grading, if you do the fitness test and you know you have adrenaline, people judging you, and you have a team supporting you, you can actually break your time. I mean, smash it, because even though you're tired, your body can do so much more, and the grading is for that, so that you can actually achieve more, but break your limits and go through the wall and so, wow, I can do this. So this is why the fitness test is there. So 2 weeks before it's your last fitness test. Don't do it early, closer to the grading, because you'll get tired, you'll be physically, broken and so on. So don't want to risk any injuries before the grading. Just recover and be nice and fresh and hungry for training. Okay, and then we are at our base camp. I'll put AKM base camp, sorry guys. So at the base camp is basically what I'm calling 2 to 12 weeks, which is where most people are at the moment, because we're starting to prep for springtime grading or later on in autumn grading. So what you need to do is first ask for feedback. Talk to your instructor, tell them that you want to grade, commit yourself, because inside you will know that in a few weeks, from 2 to 12, you're going to be judged. You will need to be on a higher level. Even knowing that you're going to grade, I see that my students, as soon as they commit inside their head, not even telling me, they just go to a higher level. So it brings you this progress and brings you more focus and it's like energy. So you know you have a purpose in your training instead of just going through emotion. So first, commit yourself early. Tell your instructor, because your instructor will look at you differently, he will give you more feedback, and you'll probably be more switched on, more motivated to again help you raise your standard. And ask your partners for feedback. Someone from the side can see much more than you can see from inside. Even as an instructor, I'm always looking for people to give me feedback, because they can see something I can't. Okay, so be honest with yourself and be open to feedback. It's not about ego, it's about progress. It's about constantly becoming better, and every single one of the people that you're training with, regardless of their experience, can give you very good feedback and can give you this like golden nugget that will help you to raise your standards. So be open, be awesome. Okay, from the base camp. Now, we're checking our rucksack. What you need to think about as well is injury management. Most of us, I mean, let's be honest, we kind of go full on, and then we surprised a bit that we get injured. First of all, the most common risk of injury is when we're already injured. You're trying to, the body is compensating for one pain, and then it gets the other side of the leg or everything else. We are like puzzles. You take one out and suddenly you just go, what was it? The juggle game, when you pull one and everything falls apart. Jingle? Yeah, cool. So we're like that. So first of all, you have to be honest with yourself. No one else is in your body, and no one else wants to break you, but you know what you can or you can't do. You have to learn how to manage your injuries. First of all, I would really suggest you gentle mobility exercises, because they can work wonders. They can heal a lot of stuff, fix you. Second one, think about kinesio tapes. If you have any problems with your shoulders, most of us do, or with the hips, kinesio tapes with the knees, cooling gels, warming up gels. There's so much stuff to help us out. So use it, because it really works. If you're actually really smashing the, don't use it every day. It's just for the grading or for something that needs you to not break yourself more. Okay, mobility and stretches. As I said, gentle exercises, that really helps, because you get stiff. You have so much impact exercise. If you think about it, we punch and kick all the time. It's a high impact stuff. It's not good for the joints if you do it all the time. You have to do a bit of mobility. Make sure that everything is ready. Okay, nutrition on the grading day. Very important thing is, do not experiment. You're not a guinea pig on the grading day. On the grading day, you're going through already a lot of anxiety, stress, knowing that you're going to be graded, knowing that there will be something, some twists, some weird stuff, and it's going to be physically very demanding. So don't put yourself under extra stress experimenting with like weird gels, energy shit, and so on. First of all, because they're designed to give you just the edge for half an hour, not 5 hours. So you're going to crash sooner or later. Secondly, quite often people are experiencing like some bad stomach stuff and they end up spending their whole grading at the toilet. So make sure you're not one of them. Test the stuff if you really want to do it. I don't recommend it because it doesn't teach you what your body can really do. And I always think like the mindset, you know, your body has a lot of chemicals and a lot of energy out there. So you can use your mind to motivate the rest of the body to actually work hard. When I think about military guys, they're always my great inspiration. They're training like crazy. And it's like, wow, they don't have rest, they don't have sleep, they don't have enough nutrition often, they're not eating enough on the training days and so on. And they're still so full of energy and doing so much exercises. So for us, I mean, 4 hours grading is nothing. So don't experiment and do what works for you. So some people, for me, I eat very, very little when I'm training because I feel really bad if I have like food in my stomach and so on. I need to be light, I need to be fresh, I need to be ready to kick ass. For other people, it works. If you can stuff yourself with pasta and still train, that's your choice. It's all unique to us. Okay, so find what works. But when you go through this process and you write down step by step, day by day what you're doing, you're going to have clarity and you're going to have confidence. And this is what I hope for you. So be ready, kick